Good afternoon, dear students. This is Vishram Singh Meena, Assistant Professor in English, working at Government PG College, Karol. As we know, we are studying English literature through online mode. The poem of the day is Ode to the West Wind, which is one of the famous odes written by P.V. Shelley, the great poet of Romantic period in English literature. The poem was published in the year of 1820. It was written in the year of 1819 in the autumn of the year. The poet is addressing to the west wind, and he is giving the account of the power of the west wind on the sea. This is the third stanza of the poem. The lecture of the day is meant for the students of BA Part 2nd. Thou who didst awaken from his summer dreams the blue Mediterranean, where he lay, lulled by the coil of his crystalline streams, beside a pumice isle in Bay's Bay, and saw in sleep all palaces and towers, quivering within the waves' intense day. Now the poet is addressing to the west wind, thou who didst awaken. The west wind has made the Mediterranean Sea awakened. The sea has been personified here in the stanza. The poet says that it is the west wind who has awakened the Mediterranean Sea, because during the season of summer there are no storms in the sea, and the sea is very calm and cool. That's why a poet here imagines that the blue Mediterranean Sea is sleeping during the season of summer. Thou who didst awaken from his summer dreams the blue Mediterranean. But the west wind is the cause of waking of the Mediterranean Sea, where he lay, lulled by the coil of his crystalline streams. The waves of the sea, which are undulating, which are moving towards the shore of the sea, and then receding towards the sea. These waves are compared to the lullaby. The sea is sleeping, and these waves of the sea are making the sea sleep. Where he lay, lulled by the coil of his crystalline streams, beside a pumice isle in a bay's bay. The poet is standing mm, beside a pumice isle. A pumice isle is the island which is made of the lava. It is situated to the northwest of the Bay of Naples. The poet is standing there, and he is looking at the beautiful Mediterranean Sea, which looks like sleeping, and saw in sleep old palaces and towers quivering within the waves' intense ray. The sea is sleeping. He is in dream. He is dreaming of old palaces which were situated on the shore of the sea in the past, but now they have been submerged in the sea. and the big towers which are in the sea also now, and saw in sleep old palaces and towers quivering, and these towers and palaces which are in the water now look like quivering, look like trembling within the waves' intense day. When the waves undulates, this gives the picture that the palaces and towers which are submerged in the sea are quivering, are trembling, all overgrown with azure moss and flowers. So sweet the sense faints picturing them. The poet is so amazed uh, with the beautiful scenery in the water. He says that the palaces and the towers, which have been submerged in the sea and now have been overgrown with azure, means blue colored moss and flowers over them. They look so sweet, so beautiful that the sense of the poet is not able to describe them, is not able to picture them. So sweet the sense faints, picturing them. Thou for whose path the Atlantic's level fows cleave themselves into chasms. And now the poet shows the power of the west wind. He says that when the west wind comes, when the west wind blows, then the waves of the Atlantic Sea, the waves of the Atlantic Ocean gives path, gives path to the west wind when they are divided into two parts or two uh, chasms. chasms. While far below, the sea blooms and the oozy woods which bear the sapless foliage of the ocean. And what we can see here in the sea, while far below, in the bottom of the sea, we can see the forest. We can see the forest blooming, uh, the oozy woods, the woods which are oozy, which are watered now into the sea, which wear the sapless foliage of the ocean. But it is very surprising that they are in the water, but even being in the water, they have no leaves which have which have sap in them. The trees and the greenery which is on our earth has sap, a kind of juice in them, but in the sea that juice is not seen. They are dry. The sapless foliage of the ocean know thy voice. They know thy voice. When you blow into the sky, then they also hear your voice. Means you are so powerful that your voice or your coming is realized by the greenery, by the woods which are in the sea. They also hear thy voice, and they get feared or they get afraid. That's why they become gray. They become pale with fear, just like the leaves of the trees on earth are dropped away, dropped down with the coming or with the blowing of the west wind. So is case with the greenery in the sea, the green foliage of the sea, of the trees in the sea get pale because of fear. They tremble and despoil themselves. They tremble, they quiver and despoil, means they throw down their leaves So this is the kind of fear of the west wind. This shows that the west wind is so powerful that uh, the sound of the west wind not only make the leaves of the trees on earth down, but the leaves of the trees into the sea get down. They shed their leaves due to the fear of the west wind. So this is the power of west wind on sea, which has been described by the poet beautifully in the stanza number third of the poem. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.